to, and it's only because I'm a huge Summer Rae fan, and it's been that way for me ever since Summer Rae debuted as the ring announcer on NXT. I thought she had a prominent future then, and I still think she has a prominent future in WWE. It's just her being given the opportunity and WWE realizing the potential that goes with Summer Rae's character, and they obviously have realized to some extent, making her a reality star for Total Divas and making her the star of the Marine 4 with Mike Mizanin. Definitely she got great reviews for that, and she's been getting great reviews ever since. It's beyond me why WWE won't push her in a more probable direction more so than being a put-over girl on Main Event, which really pisses me off. You know, I watch Main Event all the time, and I see Summer Rae in these Divas matches being used as a put-over girl when she was the star of the Marine 4 with Mike Mizanin and got such great reviews for being the star of the Marine 4, and now she's just being used as a put-over girl on television. I can't tell you how much that pisses me off watching editions of Main Event and or NXT, for instance, and seeing Summer Rae losing all the time to divas who WWE believe are in line and deserving of being pushed. I don't think that pushing Naomi for the Divas Championship is the way to go for the Divas division, especially with how Sasha Banks has definitely just re-entered herself into the Divas division, shaking things up. I don't think that pushing Naomi is really the way to go, especially with Sasha Banks recently making her entry into WWE's Divas division and how Summer Rae has been being put over as a movie/reality star in WWE. The way to go about promoting the divas now is to give divas who have never been given opportunities before the chance to shine and really showcase their talent for what it's worth. And I think Summer Rae has an incredible amount of talent and definitely deserves the opportunity to showcase her talent for really what it's worth. Putting her over as the Fandango girl was an effective way to get her over, but it wasn't as effective as putting her in the ring all the time wrestling. I think that her wrestling is far more effective than having her be a valet or a manager to someone in the way of Fandango. Yes, it was a great way of introducing her to wrestling fans as the Fandango girl coming over from NXT after being a ring announcer and a wrestler on there and seeing so many metamorphosis periods going through for Summer Rae on NXT being followed through with, and she had such a great career for herself as an NXT wrestler, and then finally coming over from NXT to WWE as the Fandango girl, which was an opportunity and a role that so many divas, so many up-and-coming divas thought they had the skills of being able to be for WWE. I know Ava Marie wanted the opportunity to be a Fandango girl, but was never given that opportunity because WWE believed her potential lied with being a reality star more so than a diva. And I think really that's the ultimate reason why Ava Marie was signed to WWE was to be a reality star. And I think Summer Rae has kind of been signed to WWE for the same kind of thing, to have a reality star role outside of being a diva, because it seems like she has more success as a reality star or a movie star than she has had being a wrestler. And I want to see that same amount of success carried over from reality television and movies into being a wrestler for Summer Rae, because I think she is an incredible wrestler who just needs the opportunity and needs to get a push in the way of a Kelly Kelly from 2011. You know, Kelly Kelly and Summer Rae resemble each other so frighteningly that it's amazing to me, you know, because it really puts me in mind of how Kelly Kelly was there for forever before being given the opportunity to be pushed. And I think Summer Rae is following in the same footsteps as Kelly Kelly, where she's just waiting on that opportunity to be pushed. And when she gets that opportunity to be pushed, we're going to see a Divas Championship for Summer Rae, and we're going to see a meaningful reign given to Summer Rae as Divas Champion, because her skills have definitely surpassed, in my opinion, the skills of someone like Kelly Kelly. Maybe not in the way of popularity, because Kelly Kelly was a very popular WWE diva who waited years for that opportunity to be pushed, but her skills definitely have come a long way since being on NXT, and they've definitely surpassed the legacy of someone like a Kelly Kelly or an Eve Torres, because she learned her craft a lot faster than someone than a Kelly Kelly did because of her lack of understanding of the wrestling business. It seems like Summer Rae has everything falling into place for her and definitely could have a probable future because of how everything is falling into place for her, and falling into place for her so fast, faster than the likes of Kelly Kelly and Eve Torres ever had fall for them, which is why I think you cannot go without endorsing someone like a Summer Rae for the future in WWE. Now, the focus obviously right now in the Divas division is on Sasha Banks, because Sasha Banks still has that novelty feeling being presented for her in the Divas division for no reason. Sasha Banks just randomly shows up on editions of Monday Night Raw. Now she's apparently aligned herself with people like the Bella Twins and the Authority, and obviously she's trying to leave her mark and impression on the Divas division, and in weeks to come she's obviously going to be given that opportunity to leave her mark on the WWE's Divas division and the entire WWE, because if there ever was a replacement for someone like an AJ Lee, then Sasha Banks is that replacement. But I think that people like Summer Rae, even though Sasha Banks is having a great deal of focus and emphasis put on her, can have a line for a push. I think that Summer Rae is someone who deserves that opportunity opportunity, and I think you cannot go any longer without recognizing the potential that goes with Summer Rae's character. Now, she may not be the best on the microphone, she may not be the best when it comes to wrestling, but I think that she's someone who you can definitely give that same amount of attention to, and if ever given the same amount of attention in the way of a Sasha Banks, probable things can come for the future of Summer Rae, because no matter if WWE recognizes the fans or not, the fans are out there for Summer Rae. Summer Rae has millions of fans who have subscribed to her conversation on Facebook, who are following her on Twitter, who have joined her conversation throughout social media, and everybody seems to be talking about Summer Rae, and Summer Rae is always finding a way to turn our heads and have the focus on her. No matter how many divas you have coming into WWE all the time, you can have as many Sasha Banks as you want. You can have so many WWE divas, but there are going to be very few who are going to possess the qualities of someone like a Summer Rae. And I'm putting Summer Rae over as someone who has the total package. If ever the phrase total package was ever reigned true in professional wrestling, it reigns true with people like Summer Rae, because she has the total package. And in my opinion, she's someone who has been undermined and underutilized for far too long, and someone who deserves a far better role in WWE, and far more credit needs to be given in the way of Summer Rae than she's ever been given before. I am a really big fan of Summer Rae. I've never covered up or shied away from admitting to you on this microphone, on air, on this radio show for being a Summer Rae fan. I'll be a Summer Rae fan until the day that I die, and until Summer Rae gets a push in WWE, because I think she's better than what she's ever given credit for from WWE Creative, or anyone who's had anything to do with the development of Summer Rae's character for years in WWE. If there ever was a catalog model who ever deserved to have a label put on her in WWE as a future star in the business, I think someone in the way of Summer Rae is someone who is a catalog model who definitely has the potential of being a future star in the wrestling business. And if there ever was a definition of a future star in the wrestling business, I think the definition can reign true with Summer Rae. You look up that definition in the Webster's English Dictionary, you would see a Summer Rae picture next to the definition, because Summer Rae, in my opinion, is the definition of a catalog model who has a future in professional wrestling, and definitely has a future that's going to be worth paying attention to coming up over the next couple of months. Give Summer Rae the next 6 or 8 months, and Summer Rae will definitely establish herself as a movie/reality star who I hope doesn't take roles outside of wrestling that are offered to her on the table in the way of movies and reality television. I hope she stays with wrestling. I want to put that out there. I hope she stays with wrestling and doesn't make a decision in the way of a Stacy Keibler to have something to do with reality television and movies outside of professional wrestling. If she has anything to do with reality television and professional wrestling, I hope it's with WWE in the way of WWE films and Total Divas, because in my opinion, Summer Rae is someone who can really go the distance in professional wrestling, and I think she knows that. I think she ultimately wants to achieve more as a wrestler in WWE, and she wants to achieve just as much as a reality star/movie star. It's just waiting for these opportunities to come knocking for Summer Rae, and I don't think that Summer Rae is someone to shy away from grabbing the brass ring. I think she's someone who's going to reach up and grab that proverbial brass ring if ever given the opportunity. She's just sitting back and waiting for that opportunity, and when she sits back and waits long enough, then she reaches up herself and attempts to grab that brass ring before she's pulled right back down. And the only reason she's pulled right back down and held in the position is because people like Sasha Banks and Bayley and Charlotte are always coming into WWE and stealing Summer Rae's proverbial thunder, and I hate that. You know, Sasha Banks, yes, was an incredible wrestler on NXT, and I'm not saying she doesn't deserve to be on WWE television, but her mindset is not really there, in my opinion. If you've ever watched some of the posts that Sasha Banks throws up on her Facebook status or on her Twitter, you would question her mind frame and actually where her mind is in this business. It's almost like she has the mind of a 2-year-old with how she posts status updates on her Facebook and tweets out stuff on Twitter, which sometimes, more than often, are very unprofessional tweets and unprofessional posts on Facebook. Now, yes, she may be profiling something in the way of a pay-per-view, but the thing is, the way that she talks on Facebook and Twitter, you almost wonder, you know, what kind of mind frame does she actually have? And is this someone who you want representing your Divas division as a future Divas champion? In my opinion, you know, you kind of got to question that. When you have people like Summer Rae there who aren't as unprofessional as someone like a Sasha Banks, who probably deserve an opportunity, who are never given an opportunity, who always have their thunder stolen at the last minute. When it seems like they have momentum on their shoulders, here comes someone like Sasha Banks and takes that momentum away from someone like Summer Rae, who worked so hard to have that momentum and have something done with their characters. I wonder, you know, what WWE Creative are thinking when it comes to people like Sasha Banks and Bayley, and I wonder sometimes if people like Sasha Banks and Bayley and Charlotte deserve these opportunities to be in WWE. Now, obviously, the supporters out there of someone like a Charlotte, in the way of a Ric Flair, the daughter of Nature Boy Ric Flair, will support people like Charlotte and say, yes, they're more than deserving of having an opportunity with WWE, and because of the names of their families in the business, they're going to be given an opportunity ever before someone like a Summer Rae, because she doesn't have anyone who's had anything to do with this business affiliated in her family. She's just a catalog model that Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis obviously like in the way of Kelly Kelly. That's why I say that Summer Rae resembles Kelly Kelly and puts me in mind of Kelly Kelly more than any WWE diva of the new talent initiative ever has, because of that catalog model image that Summer Rae brought with her into the wrestling business, who you never thought would amount to anything. And then she cheated everybody by, turning around, turning coat on page, reforming from being a ring announcer into an in-ring performer, which was an incredible way of introducing Summer Rae. I think everything about her entrance into professional wrestling was done so professionally, and I think that Summer Rae deserves credit where credit is due. Reforming from being a ring announcer, attacking Paige at the last minute when everybody didn't expect it to happen, and then introducing herself as a wrestler, and then eventually coming over from NXT to WWE, getting that opportunity before a lot of WWE's NXT divas ever were given that chance. So at least we can give Summer Rae the benefit of the doubt, because she did get that opportunity before a Bayley, before a Sasha Banks, and before a Charlotte ever got that chance to come over from NXT to WWE. It's now just waiting on the opportunity as wrestling fans of seeing Summer Rae wrestling for the Divas Championship, either as the number one contender or the actual champion. She's only been given a number of opportunities at that championship, and it comes in the way of battle royals and probably 60